So what is the speed limit in Texas?
I don't know.
But you did break it.
I think we may have breached it once.
Only once.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to Evo Podcast episode 41. I'm reliably informed, so if it's wrong you can blame Aston who sat behind the camera. This episode joined by Yousuf, Dickie and John.
Hello.
Some are looking a bit worse for wear because we were recording this after the first Grand Prix, so some got up and watched it. Some watched the highlights, which was John and I, the old ones.
Yeah.
What did we make of what some people are calling Super Mario Kart?
Oh yeah.
It was. There were some bits. You look at the results, and there's some bits I think being overshadowed by what happened because Max qualified 20th and just did a Max thing. And
Yeah.
6th.
He just quietly gets on with it, doesn't
Yeah.
he? Like relentlessly moves up the order
Yeah.
through all the chaos. I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I think it's.
I mean, the start was fascinating with
The Ferraris,
just
yeah.
disappeared off because they can wind up their turbo.
I think they have a smaller turbo, so they're not so affected by the lack of an MGU K or H off the line. So they get instant boost and they rocket away from the line. So I think Charles was 4th and he got to 1st by turn 1.
Yeah.
And Lewis nearly followed him but got boxed in.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's interesting because I think one part of me, like the purist side of me, thinks it's a bit artificial in how people are just running out of battery and then that's how you do the overtake and then it just swaps around. But at the same time, a DRS train is no fun to watch either. And that's what we had for a lot of the previous regulations. So
I think it's just they'll just analyse the shit out of it, won't they? Like they always do. So it'll be chaos for the first few races, and then they'll work out
Some sort of balance of performance.
I mean, I guess they'll learn at every race, won't they? But because they simulate everything before they get there, I think it would be more, at least seem more prescriptive. But then the drivers have much more room for improvisation, don't they? And they can have a bit more autonomy. I think it was just like relearning how to watch Formula One, wasn't it? Because you got used to the sort of cadence of a old gen race and where they were quick and where they'd be, and this was just like totally
what's going on,
bewildering. But I think it must be. I was thinking as a driver, it must be so much more intense because it's not just building up for that one DRS zone where they kind of string a lap together to get as close as they can. They can nip past, but then they have to defend.
Yeah,
and try and hold the other one up when they can do. It's interesting.
Yeah, as you say, it's got rid of that. The rest of the lap is kind of just energy recuperation and tactics because right, I've got one straight to get them. Oh, it didn't happen. You either get the DRS train or it's just a bit of I'll follow them for 3 laps, boost my battery, then I'll.
But then there's
this. Now there's this. It's
thing
everywhere.
that's triggered, isn't there? Where they
where you get a bit of extra boost.
Yeah, which is delay. They can't show it on the graphic of who was overtaking with boost and who wasn't using boost.
Yeah.
But as you say, they will.
The weirdest thing in Melbourne was the run down the straight, and then you just hear but they're like in the middle of an overtaking.
Yeah,
maneuver.
and they're both
like,
slowing down.
How that'd be like overtaking a lorry in 3rd and then short shift to 6th, and then it just looks so hard to judge. How to, because you've got nothing left. Exactly. Absolutely flat out, but you're going slower. It's such a bizarre.
It did remind me of the arcade games when they first, like Daytona came out. If you spun, you'd catch up again without doing anything different.
Exactly.
You suddenly found, I'm really good at this.
The rest would slow down.
The rest would slow down so that you catch up. And this seems a little bit the same, isn't it? No one can really get ahead.
Yeah. But then I think when the order is kind of set and there are gaps between the cars, it's more conventional because there's one kind of optimal way to deploy the energy over the lap, and they're all doing that when they're away from other cars. But I think as soon as they start to approach each other, that's when it all goes out the window and they're hitting the boost button and not.
Yeah, with a double DRS on the front, which still takes a while to get used to seeing the front wing move.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating. I felt for Oscar and his.
They just seem to do random things, don't they? The cars every now and again.
Because he said it was just an extra 100 kilowatts of energy, which is quite a lot.
You could see it off the curb as well. It was just like the perfect combination of
Did they get to the
things,
bottom of Verstappen's practice shunt because that just like you pulled the handbrake on, didn't
Oh,
it?
the rear locking. Yeah, yeah.
But I
Must
think
be
they've said the
regen issue or
regen
something.
so strong that when you back off, it'll
It's the equivalent of putting the brakes
so
on.
when Piastri was sideways, he would have come off the power, and that made it worse because it just they must be really hard things to drive, which is great, isn't it? Because it just shakes
Shakes it up a
everything
bit.
up.
Yeah.
It was interesting, Lando saying we've gone from the best cars to the worst cars, but his experience is still quite short in Formula One. Whereas there's probably a lot of drivers, Fernando and Lewis and Max, who've driven other cars, go, actually the ground effect cars weren't great.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you won a world championship in one, it's the best thing ever.
It skews you.
I think it just I was weirdly been driving around in a kind of fairly regular hybrid, like a Cupra something. I don't know, Formentor, Tormentor or whatever. I don't know. But it
One with only 3 wheels.
and it struck me today that it gives you quite a lot of electric boost early on, so it feels like quite a fast car, and then that runs out, and then it's like, and it makes a load of noise, but it's not actually going any faster, and for the F1 drivers now, it must be like going from a 296 or something, which gives you that boost, but then you've got a proper engine that's making you go faster and faster, to a regular hybrid.
Like a Peugeot 508.
That's like, what's this all about? It feels quite quick out of the corner, and then there's nothing to back it up. It's not it feels like Formula One tying itself in a knot to be relevant for all the manufacturers that are in, because all the manufacturers bring all the money, but it's sort of forgotten.
But it was
It needs to be understandable, and a racing car should be at
the pinnacle.
peak speed at the point you hit the brake, shouldn't it? Not fading away.
Yeah,
at
like
the end
someone
of
on the
straight.
fairground round has just wound it. Electric go-kart, and they've wound you back. Driving like
exactly.
a hooligan.
I'm sure it'll get, the rule changes always feel like a backward step, and then they get back to where they were. It's the nature of it, isn't it? But
Well, some will protest someone doing something, Mercedes engine or
Compression.
something. Yeah, and then we'll all just everyone will get excited because the flyaway races would all be a bit disruptive.
I think Monaco place might be interesting though, mightn't it? If they can deploy boost in all the absolute chaos. I would
Boost
imagine.
in the tunnel.
Wow. Yeah.
Mind
And
quite
the
a short,
start.
use quite a short circuit, so are they going to run out of energy in the batteries though?
It's quite a lot of braking though, isn't it? But I guess it's not braking from really high speed for a long period. It's more just a quick stop and then in.
But then Monza's going to be odd because it's absolutely flat stick with a couple of massive braking areas.
Yeah.
Same with Spa, isn't it? I
Could
don't
be
know.
It could be the first time they need the safety car to slow down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But some of the responsibilities fallen now on the engineers who must be doing simulations to work out what the best strategy for the lap is.
Yeah.
Whether you're behind somebody or whether you're in front.
But that presumably that now changes because you can deploy anything at any time rather than 3 defined zones.
Yeah.
So all the drivers it's a completely variable kind of model now.
Yeah.
I guess.
And they have slightly different cars, don't they?
Yeah,
It
exactly.
hasn't come out in the wash yet, has it? Who's got the advantage aero-wise? Who's got the engine?
I think the cars look better, don't they? I know they're only like 20 centimetres shorter.
And
but
to drive, they are moving around more. Like you see
Yeah,
Lewis
they're-
laying black lines in the race out of the last corner every lap, and you think you couldn't really do that last season, I don't think, without cooking the tyres.
I think with the amount of torque that's now going through them, isn't it? You've got to drive the cars, and the driver's got more options and ways of driving the car and using the power, haven't they? So that's going to be fascinating. See how that pans out, or whether it just settles into there's one way to drive these cars, and then you go back to whatever the equivalent of a DRS train will be, of just a boost train, basically.
Yeah.
George is going to be unbearable as well.
Yeah. Did you see in the cool down room when he was like to Charles Leclerc, he's like, "Oh, you guys were quite quick as well." And Charles was like, "You were 8/10 quicker than us in quality." And he's like, "No, it's like I don't think you optimised." But
Yeah, something that's meant to bring the cars closest together. The Mercedes they did an overlay, didn't they? For
Yeah.
how much quicker they are.
yeah.
But he's going to be. We should support a Brit,
Yeah.
I know.
and it was great. There's 5
But
Brits in the.
they did point out they're not the only one with the same engine. They're not the only
I think the
Mercedes
trick is in...
But they developed it first, didn't they? And then they gave the customer engines out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the
it's
trick is in figuring out the deployment strategy throughout the lap. I think Merc have got that nailed, and even the customer teams are way back on the powertrain performance overall because they haven't figured out how to use it in the best way with the software.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they're lagging behind, but it'll probably equalise over the season as they learn more and more.
What I'm looking forward to is when they go to well, they might not actually go to them at the moment, but the really dull mid-Nice tracks, whether they can actually make those exciting races now.
Yeah.
Because they're the tracks that just...
It seems like there's overtaking opportunities everywhere. If someone's messed up with how they've used their energy, or they haven't used enough regen or whatever, it's just like totally random.
Yeah.
It should end those Sunday afternoon or evening snooze fests of once the first lap's done.
So every race becomes a wet race.
Well, what happens in the wet with all that talk they've now got?
Yeah. My only slight concern is that I think the first 10 laps were really interesting because you could see the drivers experimenting where to overtake to not get done on the next corner kind of thing, and where to use the boost. But later on, I think they figured out that there's a big penalty for using it, and they were a lot more careful with when they do it. So like Verstappen, I think, caught Norris on much fresher tyres, and he couldn't get past him for like a good number of laps and then finished behind him. So I think they were getting more savvy as to where to use the boost throughout.
And where to position your car.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Someone can't... If you can just block them momentarily, then they're done in that moment, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like hang on until the next...
You kill all the momentum,
section. But I think it's... Yeah, I think it's a shame they don't feel like they're absolutely flat out. Well, they are, but it's just...
They're limited, aren't they?
Well, it doesn't help, doesn't it? Everything on social is just showing reaches peak speed, then it just tails off, doesn't it? And as you said, you should be absolute peak speed when you hit the brakes.
It's odd to watch, and it must be really weird, like the feeling of...
Yeah.
Because you're not even out braking, are you? They're like getting slower and downshifting without braking into those corners, and you're sort of racing someone with really no control over going any quicker. I think it's the rule changes are always interesting, aren't they? But at the moment it does feel quite contrived because there's so many different opportunities to influence the pace of your car with the overtake button and boost deployment and wings and I don't know.
I think quali's the most painful for me because that is when the cars should be absolutely on it flat out, but they're lifting and coasting on a full-on quali lap and it just doesn't seem right. I think in the race I can kind of accept it a bit more.
It's more tactical, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's always been lift and coast and tyre saving, fuel saving, but quali lap should be a quali lap, I think.
Yeah, that's something they need to address. Although, will they? Because that also then means there's a chance of quali being mixed up.
Yeah.
Because if you can get that bit of strategy right in quali, or you sacrifice a bit in quali to get further up the grid, you might do that. But yeah, it's how quickly the teams adapt to it, isn't it? And it becomes the norm. And
it was better than I thought it was, and it's quite fun to learn a new to interpret a race in a different way, like what you're watching and how it all pans out. I think it was quite obvious that the Mercs were going to be ultimately end up at the top, but it was fun to see the Ferraris catch them and both Ferraris catching each other. There's lots of different races all the way down the grid, unless you're in an Aston Martin.
What is going on, man?
Oh man,
it's a disaster, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah,
I'd love to know how good that car is. I know they're all built around their own individual powertrains, but if you could simulate it with a Mercedes engine,
I think
how effective
that
the car would be.
Newey said that the car itself is probably 5th best, but with a lot of potential to develop. But then the powertrain isn't lasting, and
they're not pushing the car, so they can't develop the car.
Yeah, exactly.
God,
it's like a vicious circle, isn't it? I'm just glad Lewis is on it. Lewis seems a lot happier, more comfortable with the car, and really quick.
Yeah.
So that's
Ferrari. Although they still managed to have a Ferrari strategy.
Yeah, they
didn't
did.
they?
Yeah, 2 VSCs, and they just ignored them both.
Yeah.
And lost 20 seconds of race time. But yeah,
Plan A.
I don't think they ever start with a plan A.
No, they
They
don't,
must
no.
start with like P or something like that.
It's more like a plan A.
Yeah, plan EH.
Yeah. Never. Right, well, let's move on. It's China, I think, this weekend, isn't it? By the time
Yes.
this goes out,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fascinating to see what happens there. We're gonna stick with the track because Yousuf, you've been on track.
Yes.
Back to Navarra, where Car of the Year was in 2024.
yeah.
But something very different this time.
Yeah, so it was the Maserati McXtrema. So it's like a limited run, track only hypercar thing. 1.3 million. They're only making 62, I believe. They're all sold. It's hard to relate to these kinds of cars. I think it's more of a, you go in and you just want to kind of get the experience out of it and see what it can offer customers. But we also had an MC20 GT2 race car there as well, which is effectively what the Extrema is based on. So it's a de-restricted GT2, 730 horsepower, bespoke bodywork, a ton of downforce. First time I've driven on slick, so it was quite quite interesting to turn one. Like you arrive at 160 miles an hour in there, 6th gear.
Yeah, it's one of those awkward kind of.
Yeah,
Gets
it's like a
progressively
triple
tighter,
apex.
doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. And it was an owner's car, so obviously didn't go 10 tenths with it, but just to get a feel for the car, it was really, really cool thing.
What was how big a difference was it between the race car and the Extrema?
So this was slightly awkward because I drove the Extrema first in the morning, and then I got into the MC20, and it's got, I think, 100 horsepower less, but same tyres, and I actually preferred the way that the MC20 drove, even though it's, I think, €500,000, so like a fraction of the cost, and you can actually race it and enter it into GT2 series. It just felt lighter and a bit more racy in its setup, I think. And obviously lots of these things can change in terms of how you set the cars up.
Yeah.
There's like a limitless permutations of suspension, aero settings and things. But yeah, the GT2 was the sweeter car, and I didn't really miss not having extra power, because I think part of the joy of driving on a track isn't shooting your way down the straight, it's kind of committing into the corners and feeling the car loading up and things. So yeah, they're both mega.
So is there just more feel in the race car
I
than
think
the Extrema, or was it just the way it sort of talked back to you and sort of moved around? And
so the Extrema was quite physical. So it's still 1,300 kilos. It's a lot of power, and it's got power steering and everything. So the controls aren't that heavy, but the way the car moves around and extracts grip is quite physical. Like it's jumping around over curbs and things.
So what weight is the GT2 then?
The GT2 I think is a little bit lighter, because it hasn't got a passenger seat and a few other bits. So it hasn't got like a fully trimmed interior either. So yeah, you definitely feel the weight difference in the GT2 car. And it's just more nimble, more positive, and it wasn't as upset by bumps and things. So I was just more comfortable to attack in that one. But I had like half a day in the other car.
It might have been because
learning
you'd
the
spent more
circuit.
time in the.
Yeah.
You'd sort of need to go back in the car you started in sometimes, don't you?
Because I think I did the same lap time in both cars, but then the car stayed overnight and did another day, and they found 3 seconds with setup apparently on the Extrema.
Yeah.
So that probably
would
opened up the
explain
window.
it. Yeah.
But no, both really cool things. I think the closest thing I'd driven to either of those was probably the RS Manti, the GT3 RS.
Yeah.
And that's actually similar downforce to both of them, which is mad for a road car.
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't kind of the giant leap that I expected from something like a Manti. I think I went in thinking slicks would just be a total new world. But both of them like to move around. You could drive them on the throttle, laying black lines and things.
I think high performance road stroke track day tyres have
Closed the gap quite a lot.
up so much more, than. And I remember the first time I drove on slicks a long time ago. But actually, if you're used to just working up to it's never like a night and day thing. So once you get used to it, you somehow kind
That's
of get your
really
head around
normal,
it
isn't it? And
quite
then you're
quickly,
driving.
and then you're feeling for the same things. You just happen to be going a bit faster, particularly in something with wings anyway.
Yeah,
if you went from something on street tyres and no wings to slicks and wings, I think
that's a whole new
notice
world.
a big difference. But
both really, really fun to drive. It felt like they were more about the driving experience rather than the outright lap time. They weren't super nervous and edgy and set up in that way. Both really quite friendly, variable traction control and ABS as well. So
does the owner have his own?
I think he just likes
privately
collecting them.
Use the circuit.
So
just for himself.
He
or
hired
with
the
some friends?
track, and he had a few mates with him. So there's like an old Cobra race car. There was an old, I think it was a Marcos or something.
Yeah.
And it was weird being in one of these and just overtaking a Cobra at like 160 miles an hour. But yeah, so he's a bit of a collector, and he's bought the Extrema. He's done quite a bit in it. I think it's done 2,000 kilometers or something, and it's track only, so that's all track miles. And he was kind of considering getting a GT2 because you can obviously race that car.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun.
Nice way to spend a Monday, I think it was, wasn't it? Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
yeah. And it was last minute. I found out on the Sunday that I was doing it, and I was like, I'm up to that. Yeah, no worries.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's fun.
Particularly apart from finding the world's biggest pothole.
Yeah, I christened Aston's new long-term test car in a local pothole. So it's just a disaster, isn't it, now? Can't drive anywhere without having spoiled. I drove the car out to France for we shot a video with the Benoit the Ravage guy. Lovely roads in France, all very smooth and silky, and then get home and it's just like the wheels are square. Well, they literally are square now. But
by the time you get home,
well, you end up driving around the potholes, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like kind of get used to them on little country roads and B roads, but they're on A roads and motorways as well now, aren't they? You shouldn't have to be.
This is the worst I've ever seen
around.
UK roads.
Just...
I've never seen them as bad as this.
Well, when they start, as you say, appearing on big trunk roads, A roads, and motorways, and some people will drive around them, which then causes others to go, "Why are you swerving?" Because if I hit that, it's an accident, and others are oblivious, hitting it, and then you'll see them a mile down the road on the hard shoulder.
I don't understand how you can. It's all part of a transport network, isn't it? But you wouldn't get on a plane that was as poorly maintained as the roads, or you wouldn't get on a boat, or and if you've
not been to Senegal,
but if you did, whoever was providing that service would be liable, wouldn't they? There'd be some sort of corporate liability.
You wouldn't get on a train where it was we have to crawl at 5 miles an hour because the track's got a defect. It gets repaired, doesn't it?
They're unbelievably bad now. I think we've had such a wet winter.
Yeah.
It just seems
it goes back, doesn't it? Because it's not just, we've had a wet winter and it's caused it. This is 20, 30 years of no investment and everything's just been patched. So
so
you have more
pothole appears next to the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
we'd have to get Tim on to talk about potholes.
We see the way that
tarmac expert.
The Germans patch their roads. It's like one piece of cloth, isn't it? They make it fit just perfectly. So there's no noise change. It's just visually it's changed, but the surface is perfect.
Here it's like a reverse pothole, isn't it? You now have a bump rather than a dip when they filled.
Well, that's so we then flatten it all in, and it's rubbish.
Yeah. So apart from that,
what else have we been doing? I drove the Valhalla, but we can't talk about that.
No. That's the end of the month. You can talk about the Valhalla.
End of the month, and I've been writing amazingly.
Oh yes, you filed some copy 15 months after driving a car.
No, it wasn't 15 months. It's almost a year. 15
months.
It was.
That is pretty much the definition of almost a year is 15 months.
So that was a Hennessey from a trip we did back in March last year, Stu. We did the runway stuff with the car they're hoping to break 300 miles an hour in, and then later in that trip we took another F5, so Revolution, which is the high downforce kit car. We took that on a road trip to Texas Hill Country, which I'd never been to. You kind of imagine Texas as just being ranch land and oil rigs, and then you get this quite, as the name suggests, quite hilly, craggy, big area of the country with lots of canyons, and really cool place to drive the car. But bloody hell. It's like driving a, 1800 horsepower car on the road is just like entering another dimension. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Does it work on the road though?
Yeah, it's very easy to drive because it's got so much torque, and the way the engine works, it's not just like all or nothing. It's got lots everywhere, and then loads beyond a certain RPM, and you've got different performance modes as well. But yeah, it rides pretty well. It's quite noisy because it's carbon tub and quite lightweight, so you get all the kind of stones clattering around. But fundamentally, it steers really nicely and brakes really nicely, rides well, and goes like absolute clappers. But you just have to recalibrate your head because you look at the speedo and it's in mph, but it feels like it's kilometers an hour because it's so easy. It's just.
So what is the speed limit in Texas?
I don't know.
But you did break it.
I think we may have breached it once.
Only once.
Yeah.
In the morning, and then back through the limit.
Back into the driveway.
Yeah.
Some of the roads, it's like the space that you have to drive, and there's some really nice twisty sections, and then we came over a crest, and the road just dropped down, and then just carried on going for miles and miles and miles, and you're like,
tempting.
Yeah, what do I do here?
But you could be literally doing 250 miles an hour in a matter of seconds. So you just, at which point, well, I'm not going to go that far. So is there much point in doing 200 or 150? What you don't comprehend about a car at that level is how fast it will get to a really big speed and then come back down again. I think to anyone that's not experienced that level of performance, it is just at will. You could be doing crazy speeds, but without feeling like you're doing anything untoward. So that was a nice thing to kind of relive and look back through the photos and Aston's pics. And
how far has it moved on from the old Exige based
Venom? I love that. I really love that car. It's one of, if I had a sort of massive lottery win, I'd love one of the original Venom GTs, because that was such an unlikely thing. But all the touch points in the car are, so I had a 4GT gearbox, which is a really nice gearbox, amazing engine, great chassis. It's got power steering, but still it feels like a big Lotus. It's got a lovely manual box, and that had, what was that, 1244 horsepower and 1244 kilos, I think, that car.
Wow.
That's a very analog car. The F5 is much more contemporary with it's got a single clutch paddle shift gearbox and a carbon tub, and it's fundamentally it's quite different, but the way it makes you feel is very similar. Just the engine is unbelievable. Everyone needs to experience that sort of performance once.
Do you actually enjoy having that much power on the road, though, or is it just so far out of reach in terms of what you can use that it feels a bit frustrating?
I think we're all adults, aren't we? I think if you have to pick your moment, but it's not like you're tickling along at
55.
I think you have to be very, very responsible with a car like that. It's a bit like I know lots of people don't understand gun culture in America, but Aston and I went to a gun range, and the analogy is quite appropriate actually, because you have to respect the thing that you're using in a gun range, and the car is the same. You don't mess about with it, but if you use it responsibly, I think you can explore a certain degree of the performance. But it's so fast. Like to have a car that will do 300 miles an hour. 200 miles an hour is like doing 80 miles an hour in a GT3 RS or something, isn't it? It's like, well,
loping along.
When you're in Germany, it's on the autobahn, and you're sort of going as quickly as you want to go, or as the car will go, and then you hit a speed limit and you come back down to 80 miles an hour, and it feels like you're walking.
It does feel like you can get out and
Yeah.
sort of walk. I think what I love about all those cars is that they're completely pointless in one sense, but A, there's people out there doing them, and B, like you couldn't drive a more different car from a F5 Hennessey to a Chiron Super Sport or something. They both aim for the same headline figure, but the manner in which they do it is totally different. But yeah, I love them. I'm a bit of a Hennessey fanboy, I think, because I've been lucky enough to drive some of their big cars, but they're something else. The engine, it just, when they start it up and it's just this big pulsing V8, but then you get the whistly sort of turbo noise just constantly in the background, and a throttle response, and it's mega thin.
John, you haven't had big turbocharged V8s with 1200 horsepower?
No, not for a little while now.
What have you been up to?
I went.
You've been busy, I know that.
Yeah, I went to see the guys at the Wells Motor Company, which is, turns out I must have gone past it quite a few times because it's very close to Gaydon, where I worked for a few years, and I'd never noticed this little company off to one side in one of the villages. So I went to have a chat with the founder and owner of the company, Robin Wells, who has had this idea for a few years that he's been working on, pretty much under the radar, but to build a British-built mid-engined sports car. I suppose it's most like an A110, but he's been determined to do it the right way. So it's not going to be one flash in the pan. He's been working on it for at least 7 or 8 years. Started off with the drawings and then got the right people involved in terms of engineering. Pretty much self-funded. I think he's spent a few mil already, but he's describes it as he's just dived into this idea, and he's just coming up there, just going to take air. And
it's quite a pretty thing, isn't it? It's sort of
it's a sort of
retro-ish, but
it's small, and it's going to be lightweight as well. There's a lot of good ideas in it, and if you look at it, there are certain aspects of certain. You can stand there and you can say, "Well, that looks a bit like a D-type at the front there," and the rear lights, they're a little bit Stratasys, and then Robin will stand there and nod. These are all influences
on his mood board.
But it's also homogeneous. It's its own thing as well. So it's got I think it's 2.5 litre Ford Duratec engine. It's only, I think it's about 800 odd kilos, and he's been working away at it. He's got a few employees. I think there's about 9 of them working out this little workshop, and it's very impressive. You look at the detailing of it and the ideas behind it. It's a proper thing. So it's been a slowly cooked to the point where it's coming to fruition now.
Nice. So when will we get to drive this?
I think it's going to be. There are a few out there already, early adopters. First generation. There's one that was in the workshop which has just come back from Switzerland, I think. So there are cars out there doing miles, but he's been very cautious about putting the car out there. He wants it to be finished and to be a complete thing. Before anybody has a really serious look at it, which is, it's going to be a couple of months off now, I think.
Really?
So very impressive, yeah.
Is it expensive?
It's not massive.
3.5 million. No, it's not. It's not. I don't think it's expensive for the car that you're buying. For
the bespoke, it's a glass fibre body, but it's a sort of folded steel and aluminium center section with steel box section for the suspension and engine mounts and things, and it's 85,000 base.
Okay,
and there are certain options for.
So it's Lotus era money.
Yeah.
Which is fiberglass body with it's aluminium.
Yeah,
but similar concept.
Yeah,
lighter.
He's had good people involved.
He won't be making a fortune at that, will he?
No.
It's he's not going to get rich selling cars at that amount of money because he's put so much into them, I would imagine.
He has, but it is going to be.
Sorry, are we talking about Wells or Lotus?
Wells.
It's going to be a self-sustaining business, but it's been a passion. So as with most of these things,
That's exciting.
it is, and hats off, because too many people have to put the cars out there early to get interest, to get people to put deposits. None of that with this.
No, and that always, unfortunately, the cars are never ready, and people just focus on the bits that aren't ready.
Yes.
Ignore the bigger concept.
Yeah.
And then they don't get any traction or move on, do they? So
Yeah. I mean, it's a painful process. I can't remember how many. I think you said they're on their third person who makes the bodies. The fourth chassis manufacturer, and these are the things that you never even consider when you start. You just think, I'm going to make a car.
Yeah.
But when you're really small, you have no leverage over suppliers. So
the big global conglomerate, they have the same. Making cars is hard,
it is.
and they have the same supply issues. And we saw it with JLR, didn't we? When the knock-on effect in the supply chain, there'd be someone else's supplier as well for something else, and it's. Yeah. If you're using specialists as well, you only need one of them to lose another client. That means they go under, or the owner decides to retire and sell up, or all that talent and skills you've got to maintain as well as trying to develop the car.
So you can be happy on your path and know where you're going with it, but you can be, the rug can be pulled very quickly. So all credit to him. Look forward to driving the car.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Certain people who have been involved with it in the Gaydon area.
Right.
It's a retired person and somebody we know from A110. So it all looks very promising, and it's quite a tantalising prospect.
Sounds good. And the other thing you've been up to sounds quite tantalising, but the other end of the spectrum that perhaps people won't expect us to be so interested in, but you've come back quite enthusiastic and buoyed up by it.
Yeah, I've seen the future. Well, the future of electrification, it's called in-wheel motors, and it sounds unfeasible, but it's a motor that fits in to a regular wheel with a hub and brake disc and caliper. It will slot in. This is the concept is that it slots in to that space. So the motor is really slim around the outside.
It has to be a 30-inch rim, but part of it.
Well, they're starting. The company's called LF, which is ELAPHE, which I thought was LFA because that's LFA. It sounds good, doesn't it? But it's a Slovenian company, and they got a big chunk of funding, and they could see the benefits of in-wheel motors. So they spent their money proving that this thing was durable. So there's things they've been through with this. They soak a hot motor into freezing cold water, just proof of the concept and just shown that it is a durable thing. But where they are now, they don't want to be a mass manufacturer of these things. They want to supply the knowledge of how to use them to their best effect. And the effects are quite surprising because everybody thinks, well, unsprung mass, it's the enemy of dynamics. No, exactly what this does is it improves dynamics of cars. So I had a couple of demonstrators there. One was the Ioniq 5 Hyundai, which we know quite well. So they had the standard car and then the car with their in-wheel motors, so both four-wheel drive. And we went out to Sweden, which is a venture in itself, on an ice lake. And the in-wheel motor car was so much better controlled because the motors are controlled at 20 hertz, so milliseconds to adjust what the wheels are doing.
So there's no latency from
no wind up of drive shafts or things like that. So they're claiming things like 10% better braking distances just because they are minutely controlling what the grip's doing, and 15% better acceleration. These are all big figures, but they can also do other things with it. They can make them make noises. They can deliver. They can
That's
literally.
the next thing for Formula One, isn't it?
R2D2.
There's often with electric motors you get a bit of whine, which can be quite annoying. So they looked into it, and then they worked out that they could play music through the wheels.
Yeah.
So we're standing on an ice lake, and it's playing the theme from Knight Rider.
Wow, that's really cool.
It will do tank turns as well, that's just stupid. But they can also deliver haptic feedback, tactility, to say you're running out of grip. They can also create engine noises. But the upshot is, there are so many manufacturers interested in this technology now. It is going to take over from where we are at the moment with one electric motor delivering drive to axles.
Yep.
That is going to go. It's going to take a little while, because to make the most of the benefits, very much like with the original EVs, to make the most of the benefits, you have to design the car around it. But you can lose things like traction control, ABS, stability control, because it's all done through the one computer which is controlling the wheels.
How much gubbins is still in the car? Is it just batteries and control units and things, or?
It's much less. If you lift up the bonnet of the two Ioniq 5s, in the original car, there's a little frunk which is you could probably get a few t-shirts in, folded t-shirts.
Yeah.
There's a massive gap now
Wow.
where you could have a proper frunk. So losing various systems.
So cars could get smaller again. Not that they ever will.
Well, this is it.
They could get smaller.
They could get smaller because the way the battery technology is going as well, and the way that this thing is controlled, you save systems. You save less curb weight, need less battery, smaller battery, less weight again.
Better packaging if it's all in board.
Yeah, smaller wheels eventually.
We can't have smaller wheels because car designers will never allow it. They keep throwing away the template for anything less than 20 inches now.
Yeah. And at the moment they're working on 20 to 23, which seems huge, but that's where they came from. Some of their original sort of partners helping to prove the technology, people making cars, were into off-roaders and things like that. But the technology is proven, and we won't see it in a proper in-wheel motor, fully designed car probably until the early 30s, they reckon. But before that, they had another car there, which is if you said, right, you want to drive around a massively quick ice circuit, what's the last car you pick? It's probably we can't say the name of the car because they were involved as a partner, but now they're not. But a V8 engined rear drive American coupe.
Okay. I can probably guess what that is.
I think you probably all can. And they've put two in-wheel motors on the front axle of that, and it is transformed. It is, you can...
But still keeping the...
still got the ICE engine. There's a battery in the back, because obviously the motors need to be powered somehow, but it's integrated to the point where it's a little bit like our favourite supercar at the moment, the Revo Alto, in that they're two separate systems, but they produce a dynamic effect.
So would that make hybridizing stuff simpler than...
Yeah, because you don't need to lose that space between wheels.
For the motors. Yeah.
So if you're a manufacturer currently going, we need some hybrid cars because no one's buying our electric cars, or the market has shifted, but we can't afford to develop a new platform just for hybrid. You can integrate this system. You lose some boot space by the sounds of it, or some interior space.
Not much, only for the battery. So if you could work out a good place for the battery, then you'd be quids in. But the car is transformed, and they can give you all the modes. You can have it's the same as in the Ioniq 5. They can give you a drift mode right back to quite a safe mode. But just the level of control, the Ioniq 2, between the two Ioniq 5s, with the standard car with its nipping the brakes to give you that that dynamic shift, it feels really crude, and occasionally it doesn't quite catch it, so you're doing that. Whereas in the other car, you know what you get, and it's consistent, even with a changing surface, with bits of ice and stuff. So, and it's like there was a mass of
The car you couldn't mention.
Yeah, sorry. Did I say that?
Yeah.
Or did I say Camaro?
The American
I can't remember.
car.
The American car. It's like it has.
Don't tell me your name, Pike.
Well, there's going to be pictures of it. We just can't.
Okay.
We just can't say that it's a project that's with that company. But it's like there's a dumbbell at the front of the car, a mass that's drawing the car forward with the in-wheel motors pulling the car, so the drifts don't get fully out of shape. So you still got all the character, but with more capability.
So it could have a really good like racing application as well, then, couldn't it?
Well, yeah,
Potentially.
yeah. That's one of the things you think about. How does it get on with? Can you imagine carbon brakes, glowing red into the braking zone? They're going to invite us to a high mu test next.
Cool.
But yeah, these things, they're not protected from ingress of water or dust. They just keep going. This is the thing they've proven.
Amazing.
And they're the company that's going to help you develop the software to control them to get the best out of them. That's their expertise.
So they're not going to sell the hardware to manufacturers.
They might do bespoke runs, smaller volumes, but they want the manufacturers to do that bit.
Right.
So the manufacturer can then still design it to fit within its wheel designs and all its own.
Or they license the rights to that
Yeah,
technology, though, and then they provide the software, like the calibration support. And
there are a couple of companies interested. The thing is, there are so many benefits to it. It will be the future for EVs. They will, 15 years time, they'll all be using it. The Chinese aren't even ahead on this game at the moment. So this is proper, European-based technology.
And on another environmental side of it, it then also reduces or eliminates what they're now looking at in terms of brake dust particulates and stuff. Obviously, it's another.
Yeah. And the other thing, that's a good point, but the other thing is that they can now design a tyre for this as well, because they can get more out of the tyre. They can have a more durable tyre that provides just the same performance with less particulate.
Because the braking performance will be done through the motor rather than the tyre having to have.
The tyre still has to
Still has to grip the surface,
but it can be a different sort of makeup of tyre that doesn't shed as much. So yeah,
interesting.
very interesting.
So that's 5-10 years away, early 30s, you said?
Well, the first cars will be hybrids, which is probably in our sector.
Yeah.
There will be some hybrids, probably in 4 or 5 years' time, they reckon. And then after that, we'll get full EVs with in-wheel motors, which will move the game on.
Fascinating.
sounds good.
Sounds very good. Sounds a good time to have a break. Join us for part 2, where these three need to decide on 2 5-star cars that they want to drive. So we'll come back to that, and so we'll see you after the break once John has brought. Oh God,
Orange Kit Kats.
Kit Kat.
Do we agree with those?
No,
No,
Not
I
at
don't.
all.
I don't like. That's why I'm bothering.
All right.
Trying to get rid of them.
So yeah, if you want some orange Kit Kats, write into the usual address, Pebble Mill. Yeah, we'll see you after the break. Go and have a Kit Kat that isn't orange. Finished?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's having one of his moments again.
All right, Granddad, take your tablets.
I apologise for that. We gave him a chocolate orange Kit Kat,
Yeah.
which weren't as good as the fake Jammy Dodgers that we brought along as well. No,
No, up for debate.
not really. No.
Like either.
So part 2. Those of you familiar with Evo, we have a data section in. Yeah, there is a spreadsheet, by the way. This is going to get really interesting. We have a data section called the Knowledge, where we list all our favourite cars that we've driven over the last 28 years. Yeah, 28 years.
Wow.
So for this part 2, these three have been asked to pick a used car and a modern car that has been on sale for at least 5 years, or been on sale within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
From a section, so they can pick any section. The sections are hot hatches, saloons, estates, SUVs, roadsters, convertibles, coupe, GT, supercars, and hypercars. So they need to pick a used car from there and a modern car. One of these cars they can only drive one more time, and then that's it. and then the other time they got to drive until the end of time. I've tried to explain the rules to them as clearly and explained why their choice isn't eligible. Explained how many years 5 years is to Dickie. He seems to be stuck. He was a decade behind everyone else. But we'll start with Yousuf because I can trust him not to cheat.
Yeah.
So what are you going to go with first?
Okay, I'll go with my sensible drive until you die car, which is...
No one said it had to be
No.
sensible.
I know, but it is sensible and also a bit of a hooligan at the same time.
But these, can I just point out, these also have to be 5-star cars.
They also have to be 5-star cars, of which they have 255 to choose from.
Which is hardly enough to go
Wow.
on, is it?
Yeah.
How many cars are in the listings?
I don't know. A lot. More than 255.
At least 300.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're sticklers with a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
Come on then, Yousuf.
Come on then.
So it's an M3 CS Touring is my new car.
A
that I'd
very
like to
new
drive.
car.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
Well, I
happens
mean-
to be the car you're driving around.
Yeah,
in
I've just
at
driven
the
to the
moment.
office in it.
Yeah.
yeah. So
But you also did the launch in it, didn't you?
I did the launch of it at Thruxton. I think it was last year.
That's early, yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Last year, yeah. So for me, that car is like the ultimate daily driver, the ultimate fast estate, because it's got like 6 or 7 characters in one. You can have it as like a really nice, relaxing cruiser, or well, it's not super relaxing, but as relaxing as you
It's
need.
better that it's... Because I've done a couple of thousand miles, and it's
Yeah.
better than I thought it was going
Yeah,
to be.
yeah,
I thought it was going to
yeah.
be a bone shake.
It's not super hardcore
No.
and like rattly, but
No.
it's got a bit of a raw edge to it. But then you press a few buttons in the infotainment, and it becomes a rear-wheel drive hooligan
Yeah.
or a really capable track car that you could probably keep up with a 911 on.
Hmm.
So yeah, I just love driving it. I think it's cool that it's an estate for one, but also it's got that bit of rawness in it that I don't think many fast estates have.
Yeah.
Like we're used to RS6s being really capable and 4-wheel drive and everything, but this has got that kind of sports car quality to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better than the... It seems a bigger step up and more CS-like
Yeah.
than the M3 Saloon and the M4 CS.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which, when we had them on Car of the Year, were good, but they didn't sort of trouble the... I think one was 6th and one was 7th.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the Touring seems to have more of a CS edge to it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
as close to the M5 CS and the original M2 CS, but certainly when I got in it and drove it, and this feels
Special.
special.
Yeah. There's something
It feels,
about it.
and it not for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Actually
Yeah.
feels like it's whether they've learned from Saloon and Coupe, or they've gone down a different path, or having that M3 Touring chassis, which has got the M4 cab rear bracing, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. The structure.
so
yeah.
whether it's just is a better car to start with or to build on, but I think it's a really special.
It's a really sweet car.
It feels more bespoke than you'd expect it to be over an M3 Touring. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, it's a lot of money just get an M3 Touring," but it feels a different car.
Yeah. And I don't know of any estate car that you could use on track and use day to day, and then also want to drive it on your favourite bits of road. Like those 3 bases, it covers really well, and it doesn't feel compromised in any way to kind of reach all those criteria. It's just really good at all of them.
It's like a very full spider graph.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's all maxed out. yeah, yeah.
How are you going to cope with those seats for the rest of your life?
Do you know
When
what,
you
I'm-
get to John and my age with and Dickie's with dodgy backs, and
Yeah.
I mean, I've yet to find a way of getting out of it without falling out of it.
Maybe in a few decades it might be a struggle, but right now I'm like totally fine. When I catch up to you guys.
Thanks, mate.
Did you mention his performance reviews coming up?
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
Just making note.
That's
of
not
it.
signed off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I quite like the seats. I think they need like
What more things to make it harder to get in and out? of?
Less padding. Less padding.
Getting in is the
Yeah.
dangerous bit, isn't it? If you forget.
Yeah.
my dad got in and he was like, why doesn't it have a motorized bolster that kind of detaches and flattens off so that when you slide in, it's fine and then it motors back up again?
Well,
I think that's a good
could be an
shout.
innovation.
Yeah, yeah.
Saves taking the hacksaw to the side
Yeah.
of the.
And to be fair to you guys, my 18-year-old cousin got really bad backache in it the other day. So it's not an age thing. I think it's just a body shape.
All right, oi.
Yeah.
Reeling it
So
back
you're
in.
saying we're old and we have weird body shapes?
Potentially. Or one of the two.
Keep digging that hole.
Yeah.
So that's your
that's my new
that's
car.
your car till the end of
time.
The end of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
or it could be Thursday with your end of year review. And then just
Insult
Yeah,
whichever comes first. Yeah.
Enjoy it while it
Yeah.
lasts.
Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind running that stew. So
Yeah,
first dibs.
yeah. Take the keys off me.
All right then, Dickie. Let's go with your car to drive till the end of time.
My forever car.
Your forever car.
My forever. Well, you inconveniently pointed out that I couldn't have a 991.2 GT3 Touring
No, because that's too old.
outside the criteria. So obviously, I just said, "Well, I'll have a 992.1 GT3 Touring." I just, if that was the only, if that's the car I had to drive forever, and it'd be a manual as well, obviously. I can't think of a better car really that does everything. Obviously, it doesn't do estate car things, but you can get stuff in it. It's quite discreet because it doesn't have a wing. If it's not in a silly colour, it's even more discreet. They're comfortable, they're refined, but they do everything that I want. Great steering, great gearbox.
Why
decent
dot one
engine.
instead of dot two?
I just wanted to annoy Stu with the with the time. I mean, any of that period of car. I mean, you could say 911R if we didn't have the constraints of the years. But yeah, I just consistently throughout my sort of working life, 911s have always been the thing that they just do so much of what you need a car to do, assuming you don't need a full 4-seater or 5-seat car.
So you are aware you'd actually have to drive this
one, well, yeah,
Not
then
like
I
the
could
other
have
one.
my other one, but just I don't have to drive at all. Then it'd be a perfect 2-car garage. I just, I think they're absolutely.
Was there anything else on the consideration list?
Really.
No, not really.
Not really. Well, no, actually, the original M2 CS, so whatever that is, what gen is that? I don't know. F87 or
G80 something.
Oh, hang on, I might have it down here. If I only had a handy list I could refer to.
That's great.
And that just gets in because they went off sale in 2021.
F87.
F87. There you go.
Yeah, that's a cracking little car.
So it's very similar in so much as it's a brilliant driver's car with a lovely manual gearbox and an impressive engine, German build quality. But it doesn't draw too much attention. Like I could say Ferrari or something, but I think or a Lamborghini but I think you want those in small doses or smaller doses, and this, I just think a 911 would be the one for me.
Either one. JB?
Predictable though that may be.
Originally, I was in the saloon territory, and I was going to pick an M5 CS as my daily, and a
This is podcast brought to you by BMW M cars.
and a Lotus Carlton as my sort of have a go, walk away thing.
Yeah.
But in the end, I couldn't resist because I'm not just about to get married. I don't need all that space. So
You're young, agile, you can...
live.
yeah.
So you're getting a range, yeah?
So I would have gone the GT3 route, but I would like an earlier GT3. So my car would be the Hurricane rear-wheel drive that we had, the Evo, which I did a lot of miles in.
Yeah.
A lot of miles. I think I did the first drive, and it was the same car each time as the green one.
Yeah.
So that only, like the M2, that just sneaks in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you have to go back as far as you can, don't you, Dickie? Yeah. No lane keep assist and that.
Yeah. How are you going to get in and out of that?
Well, I think it'd be worth the pain. I just think that car is, although it's an auto, so much character and so much width of pace.
Yep.
You can enjoy it. That engine, I don't know how they make it more characterful than anything that Audi produce with the same basic motor, but they do, and it's
Different firing order, I think. Why, John?
I shall check that out. So yeah, there's a richness to it. The whole experience is fantastic. I don't think I'd get bored of it.
No. What do we think of each other's choices then? So M3 CS Touring, Dick, you see yourself driving that till the end of time?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cracking car, isn't it?
I agree as well.
I think we're very lucky, aren't we, that we get to drive all sorts of cars. So, you know, the cars that you'd love to have access to, but you wouldn't want to be in all the time. And on the rare occasion we get something like the M3, or maybe even like the Octa or something.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's just I could quite happily have an Octa until the day I died, because I just get a kick out of being in it. I love the whole thing about the car. It's not just a particular mood on a particular day on a particular road, and they're epic. They just give you something.
They give you something all
the time.
They're not a mode car, are they? You can just get in it and still get stuff from it. You don't.
I don't know. I think the Octa has to be in Octa mode for me.
But that's just one. That's just one button, isn't it? So
and the M3's got loads of modes, but fundamentally it feels special even when you don't play with them.
Preset.
The M1, the M2. Yeah.
Huracan's interesting because there's obviously lots of wedgie supercars. Would you two go with the same?
It's hard to resist that car, isn't it? I think they always look sensational, don't they? I don't know. Could I live with a Lamborghini? Probably.
I don't know either, but
I'm willing to give it a go.
The sacrifices you'll make. John.
I think it wouldn't be orange, green or orange, or
you'd go more subtle, more classy. Yeah.
I think the first. Well, is that the first one we had? That silver one there.
This one.
That one
That's an Evo. Yeah.
That's an Evo, isn't it? You can get them in non.
Yeah, you can
crypto colours.
Downplay the colour. Downplay the colour.
Yeah.
What about you, Stu?
What have you
Come on, you can't just because you haven't done your homework.
I have done my homework. This is going to sound like a BMW. I was torn between being, because I'm an old fart with a dog and a family and stuff, and bad back, and having just spent a year in an RS6. I was tempted to go down the RS6 Avant GT route.
Oh, right, cool.
In the Walter Roll tracksuit.
Well, that was the problem. I mean, there's certain things I can carry off in Essex, but that I don't think I could.
I don't know what that means.
So I actually went down, similar to John. I actually would have will go for an M5 CS until the end. I think that just, like the CS Touring, it just feels special from walking up to it.
Yeah.
And then when you're in it, it could only be an M5 CS. It feels a big step up just when you're in it from a normal M5. So I think that, and of course it's got yellow headlights. So
yeah. It's easy way.
Gets extra points. But yeah, that was just sensational because that was a sort of a weird lockdown car. So I had to go and pick it up from Farnborough, BMW GB, and it's one of those cars you got in it, and as you were driving out the multi-story car park, you just knew it was special.
Yeah.
But then also, no one else is. I mean, it was socially distanced and all that stuff. So you're in that world of, is it as good as I think it is? Because I can't pass it on to someone else.
Yeah.
To see what they were doing, and then Jethro got in it. Some people might remember he's gone off to work for a small thing. And he was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
And then we had on Car of the Year, and you like, there was a few dissenting voices on Car of the Year.
Yeah,
why have we got
sacked them now?
Yeah, got rid of them. But yeah, why is there a 5 Series saloon car? M5 had been good that generation, but not blow yourself.
Not great, was it?
No.
It was a bit of a ho hum.
Yeah, it's a bit like nice thing to have access to, but wasn't like E34s and E39s and things like that. But the CS, just everyone who drove it was sort of, this is special.
Yeah.
And it is, isn't it? It's a really,
Yeah.
cool thing. So yeah, I would have that as my...
Well, that's quite a nice bunch of
a good
cars,
shout.
isn't it?
Yeah. Quite a good thing.
So then
So
what's the next
now
one?
you're onto your old cars that you can only drive one more time, and that's it. And you've got to park it. So go on then, Yousuf. And I assume this is going to be your S1 Elise, isn't it?
No, actually, I've gone newer than that. So I've gone for another Huracan, actually, the STO. So a bit more hardcore than the rear-wheel drive Evo. But yeah, that was I think it was the first Lamborghini I drove in 2021.
Yeah.
And I was up in the Scottish Highlands, and I just got out of a Aventador SVJ, and I was like, oh, do you know what? This is everything I want a Lamborghini to be. It had all the drama. It felt wild to be in, and it was so quick and everything. And
But it's much more exploitable, isn't it?
yeah, and then you get in the STO and you think, actually,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
yeah. It's got all the drama. I think it sounds even better from the inside, that V10, but it's so exploitable and so sharp and always with you, and you can drive it however you want. You can kind of enjoy the engine and just flow along, or really attack a road on it, and it comes alive. But I did it as my kind of one drive and done car, because I don't really want to be seen in an STO with the yellow stickers and all that. So I think, just one drive in that, get it out of my system and call it a day. I would love to.
Yeah, cool car. Another car of the year car that.
Sort of, well, STO was the same year as M5 CS, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
No, that was Technica.
No, that was Technica.
I think it was STO.
Oh, was it STO?
I think you'll find.
Oh,
It came second to the M5. Yeah.
Oh yes, and the
There you go.
GT3 was third. Yeah.
Yeah, mega thing.
Yeah.
Dickie,
Me?
go on.
Well,
Which 911 have you
no.
I got two.
997.7.
I thought in an effort to keep things real, I'd pick a Pagani. I don't know whether it's Zonda S or Zonda F. I think possibly Zonda S, actually,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rather
than the Zonda F. But I mean, we've talked about Paganis lots, haven't we? But yeah, I think it's very early days of Evo. Really super special car, and I've driven them again since, and you kind of think, well, they're quite old. You know, it's getting on a bit now. Is it still going to feel as special given the context of all those sorts of cars has changed completely? And if it's almost feels even better actually now, because the things it was great at then, there were other cars that offered a similar feel, and now everything's so much sharper and more immediate and more aggressive and more complex. And going back to John's point about a sort of one mode car, it's you that brings the change of tempo and the flow, and it's such an exquisite thing. Sounds amazing, looks amazing. It's like everything you'd want your Lamborghini poster car to be when you're a kid, but it drives much better than they ever did. So it's not a folly like you could drive a ridiculous like a F40 or something, which would if we were allowed an older car than you said, sort of a pre-Evo car, then it would probably be an F40 or an F50 or something.
Yep.
But yeah, within the sort of lifetime of Evo, I think it's a Zonda is still would be in my top 3 most special cars, I think.
Yeah, and they created that hypercar sector without really telling anyone about it. And at the time, it was just a supercar, but that's sort of become
Well, it
the
didn't go to
benchmark
extremes, did it? I think that's the thing. It just did everything really well, and it moved the game on
and
in
hugely
terms of
confident in everything
construction
it
of
did.
it.
It wasn't even overpriced, was it, back then?
No,
They were
it
getting
was,
it was really.
it was
Under
like
300 grand. Was
I think it was like
Yeah.
300 and a bit when the equivalent Lambo was 250 or 200 and a bit or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't,
way
considering it was a carbon tub when none of them had carbon tubs, and
but not just a carbon tub. It was like a tailored suit.
yeah, it's just beautiful,
Immaculate.
beautiful car.
Wow.
Um,
Do you think the Zonda, I mean, it got more extreme, more aggressive, more powerful. Do you think it kind of lost its USP in a way by going that extreme?
a little bit, I think, and I think they've got their mojo back with a Utopia. I think that's much closer to where the Zonda sat, because it's an extraordinary car, but it doesn't profess to be a track car or to do anything too radical. But what it does do is gives you that, it's a proper exotic supercar. And I think supercar as a name is probably its currency's dropped a little bit, hasn't it? Because everyone's obsessed with hypercars. But I think they're still I would still say Utopia is a supercar, not a hypercar, because it has that. Sounds wrong to say modesty when you're talking about a Pagani, but they're not headbangers at all. So you can just do big distances and drive them easily. But when you really want to drive them quickly, they work really well. So yeah, I think that would be a lovely thing to. Because every time I drive a Pagani, I sort of think, well, I might not ever get the chance to drive this again because they're such special things. Yeah. So it's just like a one last go, I think, of something like that. Definitely.
JV?
Yeah, I had the Zonda S on my list as well. It's just such a tactile car. And Loris did the setup, Loris Gacci did the setup, and it's, the damping is lovely, and the way the car behaves is really approachable for a supercar. And then all my other cars are also fantastic, have fantastic ride quality. There's something obviously that clicks with me about that.
Yeah.
So I could have had Speziale 458 Speziale, Ford GT. Great drives in all of these cars, or GT3 997, but that doesn't. I can't be the last time. So I'm going to go back to the Audi R8 4.2 manual.
Oh, cool!
Which every time I drive it, it's just magic.
So would you want that to only drive it one more time though?
Yeah, because I think the Huracan is just more of an experience. But everything the Audi does is so sweet and so perfected. It's almost too good. You want something with a little bit of raw edge to it, I think.
There's a little bit of the NSX about it, wasn't there? In that. Yeah, I think you kind of expect there to be some sort of quirk, or they can't possibly have got it this right.
Yeah, this polished
first time. And arguably they never did it quite as well as that. Yeah. Again, did they really? They sort of tweaked around with it. But
yeah, they always felt like they had to change stuff and update stuff.
Well, you could combine the two and have an R8 V10.
Yeah.
But the thing is that
the hybrid.
That's never hit the spot for me. That's the weird thing. Yeah. I locked down again. I got stuck with a R8 V10 manual.
You did, and was that
not a manual?
No. The rear-wheel drive, isn't it?
It was a rear-wheel drive. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
and ended up not really enjoying it.
Interesting.
For a whole year.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Audi. I'm still in lockdown.
Yeah.
So I've sort of been there. But like I say, the Huracan just somehow is just a different experience compared with the R8 V10. But we had to go on the Eras test, that lovely car that we had on that.
Yeah.
And that again is just wow. It's just nailed this. Absolutely nailed it in all departments.
They're so undervalued as well these days on the market, like less than 40 grand.
Yeah. Well, it's just that's where it suffers from its badge, isn't it? Yeah, that's someone else's gain because they get a bargain supercar essentially.
Yeah.
It's always suffered from that. The R8, even the later V10s and stuff, they're still.
Yeah.
When you think of this, the same company that will build you a 7-seat SUV has built one of those. It's huge.
They've left quite a gap, I think, haven't they? In that they were a mid-engine supercar you could aspire to own, because they weren't anywhere near Ferrari money, were they? They were more like Porsche money. But
they were 911 turbo money, weren't they?
Yeah. Something a bit different. Now I'm sure they'll come back as a rebadged Temerario or something.
Yeah.
Which John will love.
No comment.
What do we think of their choices? Each other's choices? Has anyone picked a car? You think, oh, actually, I'd rather swap my car for their car.
Nope.
Yeah, STO is the one for me.
No, I'm happy.
It's funny that we've all. I mean, I love hot hat. I love hot hatches. So I did kind of think maybe for the car you're going to spend all your time in, I could quite happily be in some sort of Renault Sport product, or but I think you end up getting drawn into the slightly more
particularly
exotic.
for the last drive, because I was sort of toying with. Well, I was drawn to the supercar stuff in it. Well, Carrera GT, because it was just.
Well, we don't know what you've picked yet.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
come on.
But I was drawn.
Oh, look over there.
Look over there. Don't look at me. Well, first of all, it's sort of just an instant. Well, Carrera GT, because we were on the same launch event all those years ago. And it's just that car that you've got a memory for, that you'd have one last recall of it. And then the first McLaren I ever drove was a 675 LT, which was just mind blowing. But I think that was because it was also the first time I drove a McLaren, but it was such a beautiful car, that car.
I thought about P1 actually.
Yeah, I just think, and so I was going down that supercar route, and then you start thinking about other McLarens, and then if it's going down hyper like Carrera GT, should you be more ambitious and want to drive T50 or something like that? But then I thought, no, some of the best drives I've had have been in some of the hot hatches or Group B homologation cars, and it's just behind Dickie's head, so I keep looking at it. It would be a 22B.
Oh wow!
Because when we had it with the LFA and the Gizmo GTR, some of those drives over the moors in Richard, who's the owner who lent us his car, were just mind blowing in that. And that would be a drive, and that's still a drive that I remember. Sort of every bit of the North York moors I drove it on for that shoot and film. I can remember every detail of it and what that car did. I just think
it was fun.
They're just mega, those cars. It's quite easy to be blinded by all the supercars. One last drive, you've got to have a big engine that makes loads of noise and stuff. But I think particularly during sort of Evo's time, we went through that period with those homologation cars and Evos and Imprezas, and then we got today with GR Yaris and stuff. But 22B, just that, because I didn't drive it when it was in the first issue. So waited 20 odd years to drive a 22B, and it just didn't disappoint. Yeah, and just have one more go in that would just be, if you could take your brain out and just mega. So
the road.
So that would be me. Would be a 22B, because it's got elements of what you like. It just rides those road cars.
It does work brilliantly on those roads.
They work brilliantly on the roads we have in the UK. You can just sort of.
Well, maybe not the ones we got right now.
Not right now. No, you'd want a sort of safari rally spec.
So that would be mine, an M5CS and a last final drive in a 22B.
Nice.
Would be neat.
I'm surprised at the mid-engineness of our.
But mid-engine cars should deliver. In theory, shouldn't they? They don't always do it, do they?
No, they don't.
But when they get it right, they're quite hard to beat.
As an overall experience of being in them as well, and kind of the looks of them, the sound, all comes together.
They're removed from all other cars, aren't
they?
I think.
Yeah, you can't have an everyday mid-engine sports car, can you? There isn't an LX spec. I reckon. They're all top end, aren't they? It is a broad spectrum of stuff, isn't it? But then, how many of these? None of these are M5CS. Which Zonda won car? Did Zonda win car of the year, or was it Wyra? It's Wyra, wasn't it?
No, Zonda.
Zonda won.
Yeah,
that was
an S.
It was an S.
It was an S, I think.
It wasn't the F, was it?
Was that the one in Umbria?
Yeah.
But
so there's a couple of car of the year winners there, aren't there? And then very high finishes.
Yeah.
The other ones. Well, we don't know about the
three BMW yet.
Yeah.
Touring CS yet.
Well, I prefer it to the M2 we had on last year's car of the year.
Yeah, I'd certainly. The M2.
What tyres is it on?
It's on 4Ss.
It's on 4Ss.
Yeah.
Which this time is probably a good thing.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be an interesting car. Whether sort of in the next 7-8 months we decide whether it's still car of the year worthy or not.
Yeah, get in a group test or something.
Yeah, it could potentially be. But it's an interesting blend mix, isn't it? Over 255 cars. Because there's so many. Because when you look at the M5, I was like, maybe I won't have the saloon. I'll have a saloon car for a final drive. But you think, well, that seems a bit of a waste, really. Yeah. Despite how good an Alpha GTA is.
The criteria is good, though, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Like it focuses you on different different things.
Because there's so much. You could have I'd swap an M5 out for Project 8 or that GTA M Alpha we drove in lockdown. And things like the 22B, you could switch out for any of the mad Mitsubishis or
or GTR or something,
or GTRs. Yeah, I mean, think of the cars that have been left on the table.
Yeah, some good
it's
ones.
It's quite a mix, isn't it? Just having a look through here, what else is a 5-star car? Quite a few Aston Martins.
253 of them are GT3s.
Probably. Well, here's some really interesting. 12 of them are Renault Sport models.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't name 12 Renault Sport models
Well,
off the top of my head.
Well, there's 8 different Megans and 4 different Clios.
When you were talking about remembering drives, the R26R, I can still remember that.
Yeah. Every mile
on the Festinio Road.
Yeah, you just have
a bit of kit.
Have cars. So there's 8 BMWs.
Only 8 BMWs?
In the saloon section.
Oh, in the saloon section.
There's more. So under hot hatch is the most popular Renault models. Under saloons, estates, and SUVs, it's 8 BMWs. Roadsters and convertibles, 12 Lotuses. Coupes and GTs. Why did I not add that one up? Or is it not printed out? That's not printed out. Anyway, and there is a disturbing amount of Porsches under supercars. I think in total, so Porsches seeing coupes, GTs, and supercars, and roadsters and convertibles, and there's 45.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be like 20% of the list of Porsches probably.
A word from our sponsors.
Lamborghinis, really popular. McLarens, as you'd expect, pretty much all of them are 5 stars. Ferraris, huge number spread across. 4 Mazdas,
all MX-5s.
All MX-5. It's then. Well, every Civic Type R has been pretty much and that was a tricky one to leave. If you think, car for the when you mentioned a hot hatch for the rest of your life, actually an FL5.
Yeah, that's a great car.
I couldn't live with a suspension, I don't think.
As you get older,
too stiff. But great thing.
Yeah, great thing.
Or we should do it with a more defined category, shouldn't we?
We can
free choice.
Yeah,
have another think.
Yes, so we'll revisit this concept.
Yeah, maybe favourite variant of Lotus Elise S1
in green.
In green. Yeah. Let's have a lot of money spent on it.
Lotus Racing Green.
So we'll draw this one to a close. Thank you very much for joining us, John.
Thanks, Stu.
Yousuf.
Thanks
and we will see you next time. Thank you.